The sun bleeds out across a horizon that feels too heavy to breathe. Beneath the canopy of a world that existed before the first human thought was ever whispered, the air turns to liquid gold, and shadows begin to move with a purpose that defies logic. You stand in a place where the clock of the universe has stopped ticking. The silence is not an absence of sound, but a presence of hunger. Something is watching, something that does not view you as a person, but as a collection of heat and calories. Welcome to the kingdom of the cold-blooded, a vertical universe where the laws of biology are not suggestions, but iron decrees written in the marrow of ancient bone. These are the reptiles, the masters of the long game, who have watched empires of fur and feather rise only to crumble into the dust of history. To understand them is to understand the very mechanics of survival on a planet that tries to kill everything it creates. Imagine you're shrinking down, descending into the undergrowth where the grass looms like skyscrapers of emerald glass. Here, the first entry on our hierarchy of biological dominance awaits. This is the realm of the bearded dragon, a creature that occupies the C tier of our survival spectrum. While the world might see a pet or a companion, evolution sees a masterpiece of resource management. Scientists were totally wrong when they dismissed these lizards as simple inhabitants of the desert. They are actually high-stakes gamblers in a game of metabolic stasis, a state where life slows down to a crawl to outlast the heat. Their skin is an armor of ossification, a process where soft tissue turns into stony defense. Every scale is a shield against the unrelenting radiation of the sun. But in the grand arena of predators, the bearded dragon is a specialist in a world that demands generalists. It thrives in the niche of the overlooked. It is a sentinel of the scrubland, using a blackened beard to signal a defiance that its physical strength cannot always back up. Its defense is a performance, a grand theater of intimidation, meant to convince a larger threat that the meal is not worth the struggle. It sits at C tier, not because it is weak, but because its empire is small. It has mastered the art of being enough. But in the brutal hierarchy of the wild, being enough is a dangerous gamble when the titans come to call. Now we move across the ocean to a volcanic archipelago where the earth still vomits fire and the air smells of sulfur. Here, the scale of power shifts. You are now standing on the shores of Komodo, where the B-tier champion resides. The Komodo dragon is a relic of a lost era, a titan that feels like a glitch in the modern world. Imagine a muscle like a coiled spring, wrapped in a hide that feels like chainmail forged in a furnace. This is not just a lizard, this is a siege engine. For decades, the narrative was that these dragons killed through filth and bacteria, a slow death by infection, but the reality is far more terrifying. This is conflict-driven biology at its peak. The dragon possesses a complex venom delivery system that prevents blood from clotting, turning a single bite into a fountain of biological failure. It does not just wait for you to die, it systematically dismantles your ability to stay alive. The dragon is a master of the ambush, a ghost in the tall grass that can run with the speed of a sprinter before delivering a strike that carries the force of a falling hammer. Its tongue flickers, tasting the air for molecules of fear, a chemical investigation that can track a scent from miles away. It sits at B tier because it is a king of its island, but it is a prisoner of its geography. It is a specialist of the isolated peak, a dragon in a world that has forgotten how to fight dragons. It represents a branch of the evolutionary tree that doubled down on raw physical trauma and chemical warfare, creating a creature that is as much a historical artifact as it is a living animal.
The atmosphere thickens as we transition from the islands to the deep, humid pulse of the rainforest. The light here is a fractured mosaic, filtered through 1,000 layers of leaves. This is where the A-tier ruler glides through the shadows. The king cobra is not just a snake, it is a sovereign of the forest floor, a creature that has evolved to hunt its own kind. Imagine a skeleton like cathedral glass, flexible yet incredibly strong, allowing a body that can reach 18 feet in length to move with the silence of a ghost. The king cobra does not hiss, it growls. It uses its resonance to warn the world that it is approaching. This is animal personification at its most regal. The cobra carries a motive of pure dominance. Its venom is not the most toxic in the world, but the sheer volume it can inject is like being hit by a high-pressure fire hose of neurotoxins. It can bring down an elephant with a single calculated strike. This is a predator that understands the value of height, rising up to look a human in the eye, a moment of profound dramatic irony where the prey realizes the hunter is not just a beast, but a strategic mind. The king cobra occupies the A tier because it has mastered the art of the preemptive strike. It does not wait for a struggle, it ends the struggle before it begins. It is a biological masterpiece of precision, a needle in a world of hammers. But all of these creatures, as impressive as they are, exist in the shadow of the absolute. To find the S tier, we must leave the land and enter the estuaries where the fresh water meets the salt. We must enter the territory of the saltwater crocodile. This is not just an animal, it is a geological event. It is a creature that has remained virtually unchanged for 65 million years because you cannot improve on perfection. Imagine a bite force that rivals the weight of a heavy truck, a pressure so intense it can crush the hull of a small boat as if it were an eggshell. The saltwater crocodile is the ultimate expression of the vertical universe. It is a master of the transition, an apex predator that owns both the water and the shore. Its skin is embedded with pressure sensors that can detect the heartbeat of a gazelle from across a river. This is the sophisticated precision of a machine designed for one thing, the total cessation of life in others. When a crocodile strikes, it is not a fight, it is an extraction. It drags the world into its own domain, using the weight of the water to negate the strength of the prey. Scientists were totally wrong to think of these as mindless monsters. They are highly social, capable of complex communication and parental care that rivals many mammals. They are the dynastic rulers of the swamp, a line of kings that saw the dinosaurs die and simply kept on eating. They are the S tier because they have no equal. They are the limit of what biology can achieve when it focuses entirely on the efficiency of the kill. Consider the contrast between the microscopic cells that power the metabolism of the bearded dragon and the gargantuan mass of a 20-foot saltwater crocodile. It is a study in extremes, a journey through the physics of life. Every scale, every tooth, and every drop of venom is a weapon in an unrelenting struggle that has been playing out since the first rib crawled out of the sea. Why do these forms endure? Why does the reptile body plan remain so resilient while other species flicker out like candles in a storm? The answer lies in their ability to wait. They are the masters of time. A crocodile can go a year without a meal, slowing its internal clock until it becomes part of the landscape, a log of wood that suddenly becomes a whirlwind of teeth and tail. They are the ultimate survivors because they do not demand the world change for them. They simply wait for the world to make a mistake. As you look into the eye of a king cobra or watch the rippling muscle of a Komodo dragon, you are looking into a mirror of the deep past. You are seeing the architecture of an empire that doesn't need roads or technology to thrive. You are seeing the raw power of the earth expressed through bone and blood. This is a journey we have taken together, a look at the survival puzzle that defines our planet. Each of these animals is a piece of that puzzle, a reminder that the world is much older and much more dangerous than our modern lives allow us to remember. The resilience of life is a haunting thought. It persists in the dark, in the heat, and in the silence. It waits in the water and hides in the grass, a testament to the terrifying vastness of time and the beauty of a design that never needed to change.